If your pantry looks anything like this, you are not alone. As a busy mom, keeping my pantry organized seems impossible. But today we are going to tackle this mess together. Realistic, not Pinterest worthy, just simple and functional. So let's go ahead and we're gonna get started. All right, here's the top shelf in my pantry. I'm not gonna be changing anything. I probably am just gonna quickly go through this little paper good bin that I have up here. I'm pretty sure I don't need to get rid of anything in here. Just kind of maybe double checking to see what I have. I see I have some plates and napkins. These are little containers for, I don't know, they just have little lids on them for when I send things for school lunch and stuff. I can see that I don't have very many cups. I don't really need them very often, except for when we have like a gathering, which I usually will check and go and buy those if I need some. So I'm not too concerned about that. I don't have any silverware in here right now. So I'll probably need to check downstairs in my food storage and see if I have any. Otherwise, I will just put that on my list for when I go to Sam's Club or Costco to buy some of this stuff. So that is done. The next shelf here, this is where I hold chips in these little bins right here and snacks like pretzels. These baskets have worked really well here. I know you can buy something similar to this probably at the dollar store. I got these at Target. I actually haven't seen them make these square ones in a long time or sell them. I'm not sure if they got rid of them or what, but it's disappointing because they're my favorite. Anyway, this, like I said, has worked really, really well. And then we just have a couple of turntables here. I really like having turntables back in the corner so that stuff doesn't kind of just die back there. This often gets really full. I know I'm going to be judged by what I have in my pantry, but that's okay. So this is what happens. Other bags of chips kind of just get set here or down here. So I'm just going to go ahead and put these into the bin here. And I know I have some pretzels somewhere. And so once I get to that, I'm going to put it up here. I'm going to show you back here this little turntable. This is where we keep drink mixes and stuff. As of right now, I can see here that none of this is expired. I've purchased a couple of these things recently. All of this is fine, so I don't need to do anything with that spot. All right, and then these other two turntables here are where I just keep extras of things that we use often that I know we run out of. So I'm just gonna kind of move some things around because I kind of want the condiments together. And then actually this, let's see, this expired a year and a half ago and I never use this. I prefer to make my own. So I think I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. You know what? This doesn't really go in here. I have another spot where I keep spices and stuff. So I'm going to go and put that there. Ice cream cones. There's not very many left in here, I can tell. And I'm pretty sure that they are not expired. Yeah, I still have, I guess, till the end of this month. So maybe we need to have some ice cream cones. Oh, and then I have some more malted milk, which I didn't realize I had. Maybe I bought this at the same time as that other one. I can't remember, but that is brand new and it's not expired yet. So let's see with this. Okay, this one's still good. I should have used this when I made a cheesecake a little while ago, but I guess I kind of forgot about it. So this works fine for me. We're gonna go ahead and move on to the next shelf. I just realized that I have some things here that need to go into the paper good bin. So I'm gonna pull that down and just go ahead and add those and just double check to see if there's any other paper goods items. And I don't think they are. I think sometimes I just get lazy and don't wanna have to reach it down and put it away. That's okay. We're putting it away now. These mini lids with cups I use for lunches sometimes, and I prefer to have it like right here where it's easily accessible rather than up in the paper goods section. Maybe I could put it somewhere else. I don't know yet. I'm gonna think about that for a second. And here I have some rice, and I try to make sure I group everything together. So I have all of my rice here, and then I put dry beans, but you know what? I don't use dry beans. So I can't decide what to do with these because I haven't used them. And I know I could probably toss them in a crock pot or Instant Pot or whatever and do that. I don't know yet what I want to do with that, but for now I'm going to keep it here. I have an empty bread flour container. I was into making bread a little while ago. Haven't been. It's sitting here empty, but you know, again, that's okay. We'll see if I get back into making bread. If I need to move things around to make more space, then I will try and do that. These little bins I got for really, really inexpensive at Target. I think they came in a pack of 2 with this big size, and then I have a couple other smaller ones that came in a pack of 3 or 4. And this is a little bit fuller than I like, but I did just barely replenish some of this rice. We don't really use these much. I bought these for when my son got his braces and couldn't eat much. One thing that I like about going through the pantry is that I can kind of remind myself of the things that I have and what I need to use up. So I'm thinking that whenever I am making mashed potatoes, I can just add some of those in to kind of bulk it up and to use them up as well. I know that sometimes it's recommended to take like everything out of your pantry and go through it that way, and you can totally do that. I prefer to kind of go through one shelf at a time. I've had this system in place for at least a year when I made a video on this before, and it is working, so I'm not going to worry about taking all of it out, although I will be taking it out to clean off the shelves. But I'm gonna move this for just a minute so that we can look back here and see what we have back there. Again, this is kind of a corner where things go to die. So let's just kind of look through those things here real quick. We tried this soup mix. I don't remember, I think maybe I got it for $1 or something. We didn't like it. We thought it was really gross. So I'm just gonna go ahead and toss that one. This is just kind of where I keep boxes of pasta, mac and cheese, pastaroni, a few top ramen. These are kind of for emergencies or for when my kids are hungry and I don't wanna cook them food. They can do it themselves. And then down here, I just kind of keep some random things. I do keep taco shells down here. It's obvious that somebody didn't see we had a thing of taco shells and opened a new one. That's okay. It happens. I would usually have these in a box and keep the box down here, but I don't at the moment. I have a bunch of chow mein noodles back here. Okay, this bag has just like a handful. I'm just gonna throw that one away. And I bought these a while ago. I had to have been several months ago at least, from Winco's bulk bins, and I ended up not using them, and I can't remember why, but I didn't, and I'm sure that they are stale by now, so I'm gonna toss those. I got some bacon bits because I remember as a kid really liking these, and you know what, I don't really care for these anymore. I'm just gonna go ahead and let this one go. All right, so I have these noodles, taco meat shells, and then just a little bag of sunflower seeds because this is what I like to use for salads. And then I have our croutons. We don't use these very often either. It's possible that these are stale, but I'm gonna keep them for a little while and remind myself again that I have these now that I've looked through here and that I need to use them up. All right, this is where I keep all of my pasta. I don't really like to decant very many things. I've tried it before. I'm never able to keep on top of it. I've tried it with cereal. I can't remember what else. But noodles is basically the only thing that I do it with because, I don't know, the boxes sometimes just have a hard time closing. Oh, this one needs to go over here. I just like it better this way. So we're gonna, oh, there's more in here. And then, so we're gonna go ahead and just kind of go through these real quick. Some of them are empty. I don't actually put labels on them because sometimes I'm switching pastas around and whatever pasta I have will go in the container. Let's see, I do have a couple of boxes here that can be emptied out or put into the container. This one, I actually keep the packages in here. So I'm gonna add this if it can fit. We'll put that in here. That's a really tight squeeze, but it worked. So that's okay. So let me just take off the ones, like, I know that most of these noodles I use often, or that specific type of noodle. Here I can see that my lasagna noodles were running low. So I got a box. I just haven't actually, like I said, put it into the container, which I have a problem with sometimes, but I'm just gonna go ahead real quick and put these into here so that I can get rid of this box, this big box here. Okay, I'm gonna take everything off right here and clean off this shelf real quick. Okay, now I'm just gonna put everything back here. I'm gonna try to put the things that I use the most often towards the front and the other ones towards the back. Now there are some that I put a label on and write the amount of time that it needs to cook. The rest I usually already know, or I bought them in bulk, like Winco, and they didn't show the time. So I just write it with Sharpie. I'm pretty sure it's easy to get that off if I needed to switch it out for something else. All right, and then I do have an empty bin here for orzo, which I actually have a little package of, and I'm actually just gonna keep it in there and stick it right in since it fits just perfect. And in fact, I think I'm using this for dinner tomorrow night. So I'm actually gonna put it closer to the front this time. Okay, so these egg noodles, I couldn't fit them all in this container when I did this. I don't think they'll all fit again. And so unfortunately, I'm just gonna have to keep it like this and just put the bag on the top of it for now. And oh, you know, I don't use this one as much. Well, I can go back here. Now these are all different sizes. It just so happens that I bought 2 different container sets. I use that one quite a bit. Okay, like I said, the lasagna gets used quite a bit. This one does not get used very often, this ditalini, which I need to just use, but that's okay. I use that a lot, and I use this one quite a bit. Let's see, I'm gonna kind of rearrange it here. I don't know why it's not even that big of a deal. Okay, I'm gonna go like that. That works fine for me. It's not perfect. This is like the only part of my pantry I feel like that looks somewhat nice, but the rest is just functional and works well. But this also is very functional for me, and I like how it works. Okay, next we have this bin that I liked to call my school lunch bin, and it worked really well for quite a while. Especially when I had all 4 kids at home going to school. Right now, I only have 2 kids that actually take lunch. Instead of putting it all in here, what I would do is I'd give them each a Ziploc bag with their name on it, and they'd each get like a drink, a bag of chips, and a treat for the entire week. And the reason I did this was because if I had them in here, they would all be gone in a day. I told them that they each have a bag, and I said, if you eat them all in a day, you don't get them for school during the week. That worked actually. So they all did pretty well. There were times where kids were sneaky and took other people's. But anyway, like I said, now I only have 2 kids. So anyway, I just go downstairs in the morning when I'm packing their lunches and I just grab 2 of each item and bring them up. This is in here because I had a son who didn't drink it in his lunch yesterday. So I can see here that I have these 2 bags of pretzels, which they need to get eaten, but we're gonna put them in this snack bin instead. The snack and chip bin are totally interchangeable. Sometimes there's chips in them, sometimes there's snacks in them. Okay, so the rest of this bin is basically empty. I have the old bags of when I did this, and it's full of crumbs. We're gonna take that bin out and just wash it down real quick. Okay, and then I'm gonna quickly wipe down this spot here. I'm not sure that I need that bin here anymore, so it's possible that I will change things around just a little bit. I do kind of like having the bin for just random things that we don't really have anywhere to put them. I just kind of will just toss them in there. All right, and then I just keep some protein powder in this container here. I would have this up by the drink mixes, but it just doesn't fit. So this is working fine for me. And then over here, I just keep most of our canned foods. I probably just need to kind of move things around a little bit. I like to go through these just to make sure that I have everything that I need, and I can see that I'm already out of one thing here that I need to get. I do buy olives in bulk. I know we have a lot, but we eat them. Okay, and then down here, this butter says it can be on the shelf for, I think it said 6 weeks. Keep on the counter for up to 6 weeks. It might have been 6 weeks already since I bought this. I'm probably just gonna go ahead and put it in the fridge. I prefer to keep it here because then it spreads really easy, and that's really yummy to make garlic bread. And then over here is where I keep a lot of my fruit, and this coconut milk doesn't really go here. Sometimes when I just don't have a spot for something, it kind of sits here. But I have our juice mixes and applesauce, and then these mandarin oranges. Sometimes I'll keep pears and peaches down here, so I'm actually going to just leave a little bit of a spot for those. I just need to get some more from my basement and bring them up here, and these are just gonna sit here. And then actually, I just realized I have this pineapple juice. I'm gonna go ahead and just take it out of the packaging. I use this for cooking, not really for drinking, or I guess I could make it for smoothies. I'm thinking that I can still fit them right here. So this can go in the garbage. We can get that out of here. We hang up our aprons right here, but I'm going to move them aside for just a minute while we go through the items right here. This is the rest of my canned food that I keep up here. I do have stuff in my food storage in my basement, but this is where I keep the stuff that, oh, you know what? This was what I was missing up over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and just fill that up. And I would be looking through these to make sure that they weren't expired. I do keep them beyond their best by date often, just because they're usually fine. But I do know that all of the stuff, at least up over here, I recently purchased. I've actually done really well at keeping up on eating all the food that we have here and not buying too much. Sometimes that's a bad thing because I'll run out of items often. My poor neighbors, I'm always asking them for to borrow something. I just need to kind of go through a few things here. I put canned veggies in here. It's just kind of random stuff, like I have green chilies, artichoke hearts, water chestnuts. These might be the only thing that are Best Buy. No, they're fine. We still have another year, so I'm good there. I'm gonna check these other bins here. Sometimes these get too full, and that's why I didn't have everything in here. So I just have green beans and black beans and these. And then actually what I usually keep in here is probably some canned corn, because we'll go through that often. And then I just have canned meat, and sometimes I will have bottled beef that is home canned, and I'll usually just put it down here. Again, while I'm right here, I'm going to wipe this down. I like to keep all of the tomato items here, and then like our home canned tomatoes, our spaghetti sauce, and then I actually usually keep the salsa here as well that I keep. I obviously need to bring some of that up from the basement as well. Okay, I have more beans. Oh, there's the corn. I'm gonna go ahead and put the corn in here. And then another can here of black beans. Again, let me just double check. Yeah, those are just fine, and those are just fine. And then I'll often try and make sure that in the front is the things that are going to expire the soonest, so that I can use those up first. So this one needs to go up in the front. I actually don't buy chili very often. It's for like an emergency, quick baked potato with chili on top dinner. And again, I got these bins at Target. They are not super expensive. They're obviously not as cheap as the dollar store. I do really, really like them, so I will leave a link if you are interested. They often go on sale, so you can keep your eyes open for those. One of the things that I like about them is that they're deep and narrow. All right, down here on the bottom shelf is where we keep kind of our breakfast items, our bread, and that stuff. So we do have quite a bit of cereal here right now. I try to make sure that we don't bring up a bunch of cereal when we already have a bunch open, but you know what, it happens. And this is kind of another reason why I don't like to have these type of containers for cereal, because we go through lots of different kinds of cereal. So I'm just going to kind of check here to see if there's anything that's empty, and this one is basically empty, so I'm just going to toss that one out. Plus I'm going to take these off. This one's basically empty too. Yeah, there's enough for maybe a half a bowl, so we'll hang on to that one. This needs to be cleaned off. This little basket under here is where I keep potatoes, but let's get this cleaned off here. This is probably one of the shelves that gets the dirtiest. Again, I love having these turntables over here. I don't need this one in here anymore because we keep it in just the box now. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this one out. I'm gonna wash it. We'll see if I need it for anything else for now, but that actually will kind of clear up some space here, because sometimes these big ones will hit the wall in the back and get stuck. This one's empty right now too. I usually keep pancake mix in there, which I don't use as much anymore, and I think that that works pretty good. Now we're gonna go ahead and put the cereal back. And now I can see that I don't have room for this last box. So actually what I'm gonna do is I have kids coming home basically right now. So I'm just gonna take this out. I'm gonna let them munch on it as a snack when they go home from school. So now we have space, and all the cereal is put away without some being left on the floor. I forgot to put this back. That's okay. I'll try and leave a link for this as well. I've loved these. I use them in my closet for shoes. Okay, and then on the other side here is where we keep our breads. And actually, here's more cereal, I just realized. This is something that I could put into this container, but you know what? I'm not gonna worry about it. Again, I probably won't end up decanting it. So I'm actually just gonna go ahead and kind of set it on this turntable right there. This was some fresh peanut butter. It's basically gone. And actually this was, I think, honey roasted peanut butter, and we didn't love it. So we're gonna take that out. Take this out real quick and just wipe down this shelf again. And in this bin is where I just keep bread. We have tortillas in here, and then this looks like it just got stuck in here by accident, and these are basically gone. They've been in here for a while. I'm just gonna go ahead and toss those as well. Okay, up here, I just keep a couple of things. This was a gift. I'm a little concerned about it. I don't know if it was supposed to be refrigerated or not. I think I'm gonna go ahead and just empty that out and keep the jar. This one, I think, is still fine. I'm pretty sure this was not refrigerator jam because the lid seems to be sealed. We just need to use this up. I'm just gonna go ahead and keep it in this bin for now. And then over here is where I keep honey and usually peanut butter, but this huge thing of honey doesn't fit down here. And this honey actually has gotten all crystallized, which I hate that that happens, but it did. And it doesn't even fit down here. That's why I've had it up here and just kind of have it tipped. All right, and then in this bin, so like I said, the peanut butter usually goes in here just fine. Just some Nutella and a couple of these drinks, which actually these need to go in the fridge and get consumed. And I think we're good on that shelf. And then here on the very bottom is where we keep our recycling bin. It is very full right now, so it needs to be taken out. And then the last thing that I keep down here is just an old milk container with grocery sacks. That just stays down here. We're gonna go through the things here on the door. I've actually really loved this over the door organizer thing. There's a few things I had to adjust. I had to put on some little hooks here to hold it onto the door so it doesn't bang on the door when it comes on and off. Up here on the top, I just keep things like an extra air filter for my fridge. And when I have an extra water filter, that goes up here too. But here, let's see. Oh, I ripped it. Best Buy, I don't have a Best Buy date on here. Oh, it's probably really old, but I still think I'm gonna actually keep that. And then we just keep popcorn flavoring, although I might move that. I kind of need to probably move things around just a little bit here, but I'm just gonna look through it real quick here. Okay, we keep some protein bars here. These, they didn't care for. I think I'm gonna get rid of those. They've been in there for a while. This kind wasn't quite as popular, but it still is okay. Taking some goldfish. I'm gonna leave these here. I think my husband might eat those, so we're gonna keep those. The only thing that I don't like about this are these kind of the grates. Things can fall through pretty easily, as well as falling through back there. So I actually really like having just these little baskets. I don't know where I got those. This was years and years ago, possibly just at Walmart. Really cheap, but I think I probably want to get a few more of those because this, I'm afraid those will fall through. I'm actually thinking I'm gonna move this around a little bit. Since the popcorn is down here, I'm gonna put the popcorn flavorings here. And then just one last beef stick here. They weren't very popular, so I won't buy those again. This was the first time I had bought those. And then right here, we keep some, okay, let's see, we've got nuts. Where do I want to put those? Probably up here. We just have some fruit cups here, and then I have a few more of these go-go squeeze things in the basement that I need to bring up. And then I just put a few snacky things here. If I have granola bars, those will go here. We're kind of running low on some of that stuff. And let's see, down here, I like to try and keep the crackers on a shelf. Oh, that kind of drives me crazy when that happens. And I just leave the bag open. I actually like to put them in a Ziploc. I'm gonna grab one real quick. Yeah, to keep these fresh when they get opened. Actually, there's only this one left in the box with this. So I'm gonna go ahead and just take the box out. Oh, look, we have another bag. If I had noticed that, I wouldn't have gotten this bag. So we're going to put these together now instead. And I'm just gonna put this bag back. Okay, and then down here on the bottom, I just keep a little container of dog treats. Oh, on this shelf, let's see, you've got some more crackers here that need to just go here. These snacky things can be put up here. So sometimes I have too many snack items and they need to be in two different containers, but I'm gonna go ahead and just put those there. But I might move this up a little bit higher here. Actually, I'm gonna put these pretzels. I'm actually gonna put those right here. We do have some goldfish crackers that were just taken out of here, and those will probably go right here as well. Let's see. Okay, I'm actually gonna move some things around here. I often have to move things around just depending on what we have, just because I like to have things that are similar by each other. So I'm gonna move things around a little bit more again here. All right, and then we'll put these snacky things right right here. I can see that I'm kind of running low on some things here, which is fine. But again, it's good to just kind of go through this and see what I have. I have a whole empty shelf here. I'd love to know, what is the weirdest thing that you found in your pantry that you needed to declutter today? All right, I'm gonna give this a quick vacuum and wipe down. All right, I'm actually pretty happy at what we got rid of today. We didn't get rid of that much. A lot of this is garbage or recycling. Okay, this pantry is feeling a lot better, and I was able to get it decluttered and organized in less than an hour. I hope you found today's video motivating and helpful, and I have a video here that will give you a lot more decluttering and organizing motivation. You can click on the video here. Thank you so much for being here today, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.